the spirit of prayer. There's probably not a person in America or around the world that does not know the recent tragedies that has gone on in New Birth, and that Bishop Eddie Long is up under severe scrutiny during this time. And I think that we as Christians should just pray. I think we should just pray. I think we should pray for everybody that is adversely affected. Everybody, just pray, cover them with the blood, cover them with prayer, lift them up in the name of Jesus, and undergird them. Someone stand up, we're going to pray in the family in just a moment. Somebody said to me, you haven't come out and said anything publicly. I said, there's nothing to say. There's nothing to say. You can't make great decisions with poor information. Until you can separate facts from conjecture, there is nothing to say. So you hold your peace, keep praying. When all of this is over, one thing's for sure, somebody, if not everybody in it, is going to need the blood. Come on, somebody. Either way you cut it, the blood has never lost its power. Either way you go, I know a man from Galilee who's able to deliver you and set you free. I don't care what it is, I don't care when it is, and I don't care who it is. God said my grace is sufficient. And so we're just standing over in the corner with a blood bucket. Woo! And whoever needs some can get some. But I don't know about you, before I sprinkle some on anybody else, if you excuse me a little bit, I want to put a little bit. I want to put just a little bit on myself. Glory. Anybody else in here will admit you need a little blood? I need a little blood. I need the blood of Jesus all over my life, every day of my life. Glory to God. I ain't gonna have no headlines. I'm gonna tell you right now, I need the blood. Who else needs the blood in here? So not for the blood of Jesus, I'd have been consumed a long time ago. I just wallow in it and lay in it and roll over in it. And every time the devil tried to kill me, I scream, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood, the blood. That's my only defense. Hey, that's my only defense. It's the blood of the Lamb. Reach out and join hands quickly. We'll take just a moment. Nobody knows what's going to come out of this, but we know at the end of the day, that God's in control. Amen. No weapon formed shall prosper. And when everything is said and done, God will get the victory. Can you say amen? Let's just take a minute. Father, in the name of Jesus, we stretch out our hand to you, asking you to stretch your hand out over the city of Atlanta, to all of those people who are affected. You know where the truth is. We know what we heard, and we know what we saw, and we know what folks said. You know what the truth is. Either way it goes, have mercy. Hallelujah. In guilt, have mercy. In innocence, have mercy. In tribulation, have mercy. Whatever happens, have mercy. As a sister church, we stand in prayer for the New Birth Church family, their staff, their friends, their members, all the people who have been saved up under that ministry down through the year. We lift up babies to you and little lambs and young children. And God, cover your people with the blood of Jesus. When everything is all said and done, let the devil know that we're shaken but not stirred. In Jesus' name, amen. Give God the best praise you got. Somebody take a minute and help me praise the Lord up in here.
Hey! I'm going to come out swinging today. I hope you know that. Let me just say that I'm not attacking every church. I'm not saying that everybody in the black church is evil, but it's very much a cesspool for dysfunction. And we got to take credit for that. We had to start somewhere. So I said, let's start with Eddie Long and that whole situation. People are going to say, well, Eddie Long is dead. He with the Lord. It is not for you to sit there and say anything about him because you probably got a lot of sin in you too. And yes, I have, and I enjoyed every bit of it. So shut up. These guys, like the Freemasons that they are, cover for each other. They're in the same posse. They sorry they got caught talking all that, I plead the blood. TD Jakes said at one time, and you're not going to like me for it, so unsubscribe from now. I'm not going to be nice anymore. Being nice with black folks doesn't work. I'm going to be evil just like the rest of them. TD Jakes said, cover me with the blood. Whenever the devil come around me, well, why didn't you say that when you had a dick in your mouth? You kind of liked it, didn't you? Well, we all like things in our mouth, but for me, it ain't no dick. Am I bashing the LGBTQ? Bashing lies. Whoever you are, be who you are. If you're a homo man, be a homo man. Don't creep around and act like you so holy, because I ain't holy right now. And ain't none of us 24 hours away for an orgasm achieved with somebody else or by yourself. What were you thinking? Peace and love and happiness? No, you think about that dick or that vagina or whatever it is, a trans whatever, to get you off. We're all freaks. As a matter of fact, when I worked in a jail and in a prison, I found out how it works. Hey, man, when I get out of here, I'm going to get me a suit. And I got the teeth done right because DOC, Department of Correction, they'll hook up your teeth for free. Hell, these inmates got better teeth than me, and I'm trying to find a place where, listen, y'all need to donate. Brother SCURV needs some dental work. If you don't already know, I'll tell you that right now. I need it. I got to look good. I don't need no toothaches up in my mouth. And they get the suit, and they say, first place I'm going to go is find me a good woman. A good woman up in the church. You see the picture right there on the left-hand side? You see that juiciness going on? You think that's by chance? That's on purpose, but we're going to get to that. We're going to cover every facet of evil black church people. And yes, don't come to me and tell me, well, we have evil people in the church. It's not just black people. I'm focusing on black people because I'm a black man and I had the black experience in America in the black community, so I know Negroids quite well. You don't study math or trigonometry and specialize in that and go and take a test for advanced English, do you? The things I'm studied in, the things I'm experienced in, I'm going to tell it. And see, when people talk like me, we're the troublemakers. And what do you hear? Oh, you going to go to hell. Well, I'm already in hell. I left it. It's called America with 3 Ks. In the black church, for me, from what I see, it used to be, I wasn't around in the slavery days, but it used to be something of a little more substance. It used to be something that when the threat of death hung over our head by the slave master, every single day, Sunday was the day where it hung over our head the least. Let the niggers pray to the white Jesus. Let the niggers go on and eat their food. And this is why, coming up in the various churches in my time, we stayed in church all day long. Sunday was church day, and I didn't like it. I wasn't forced to it, but I had many friends that I went to churches with. And I said to myself, God, dog, you got to get up in the morning for Bible study? You got to come back for the daggone service? And in the afternoon, you hanging around in the parking lot. I want to go home and get something to eat. And you get something to eat, you go around church folk. Either you go to that big restaurant, you still got the same clothes on, all sweaty. You know how them 1970s polyester shirts were. Don't lie. Summertime, you sweating. Maybe it starts sticking to you. And you got to be around these folk. And then they start gossiping about who's with who and who dresses too tight and who eyes was looking at whose butt. Meanwhile, you got church brothers in there going to the bathroom all the time, sharing the same stalls. And one of them is on their knees and not to pray. Dysfunction. And we got evil and envy and jealousy. And you want to talk about, I'm blessed and highly favored. Highly favored for what? An express ticket right to hell? We're so hypocritical. That's why I titled this, Evil black church people doing the devil's work in the name of the Lord. Y'all are so hypocritical. And I don't care if they hear it or not. They're going to eventually come around and listen to it. There's somebody I know that plays this foolishness, and she's a pastor, and she was raised up in the church. And her mother's a sweet mother. And when the mother was going through some problems and considered selling the house, and she sold the house because she didn't give the proceeds to that daughter said, "You can't stay with me no more. I'm putting you in the street." And that mother had to go into the homeless shelter with all the money that she had, which was a lot, from the sale of her home. But that church daughter, praise and worship queen, gave the ultimatum to her mother and called the cops on her and got her out of there. How old do you think that mother was? I can only imagine. She must be in her 80s, late 70s, 80s. And no one else came to the rescue. So you give me a call if you got a problem with it, and I'm going to record it and put it out. I'm telling you from early. I'm not going to deal with dysfunction around me. That's the ultimate sin. And you see TD Jakes? I don't really know the actual facts and so and so. Wipe the cum out of your mouth. You know what time it is. There's all kind of dirt, and I'm telling you, so many people I know died from AIDS, mostly men, young men that weren't in check. And when these people start talking about, "Oh, we don't know, we weren't there," we got to do it all old school way. If there's a hint of anybody messing, I don't have any sons, but if I did, this is about not the sex of the child, but if I had a son and I have daughters and there's a hint of anything going, I'm not going to sit there and say, "Oh, we don't know the facts." We're going to find out the facts. Get the shotgun and cock that bad boy and put it up in his neck until he tells the truth. Forget due process, that's due process. And if enough people can say, and I can't say it on this broadcast because I'm going to say it's hate speech or something threatening, trust me, you won't see them again. Instant justice. If you think or you got that thought, you take it somewhere else, and don't let it be somebody else's child either, because I'm going to get you the same. But see, we've been so degraded as black men in our community. We are the original police. And we wait for the cops to come. Same cops later on that's going to kill our children or kill us. No, officer, we don't need you. Everything has been rectified. Everything has been taken care of. We don't need you. Evil black church people. You go there because it's like a daggone social club. You got nothing else to do. Form and fashion. Taking 3 and 4 hours to get ready. "Hey, is my butt looking big? Is this just too tight?" No, it's not tight at all. It's not tight. It's not tight. Then you go and put on something tighter. Brothers in the back, they don't want to sit up front. They want to sit in the back and see the panty line sashaying up when it's time to pay the tithes. And you sit in the back also, so you can give everybody a good view because you're looking for a husband. And when you don't get your husband, any husband will do. I can say growing up, I've been hit on more times in the church than I have in the street. As a young boy, 14, 15, 16, 17 years old, I started to train, lift weights when I was 13. Didn't look like much when I was 14. Got a little more husky when I was 15. And it was that time when I heard other people, whenever I was in a church, because let me get this straight. We never went to one church. The most church going I went to was with friends, classmates. My mother sung, and she went to different churches to perform. So I had a chance to go to different churches. But it was in those churches that I went to with friends that some of those older church women hit on me. And how did they do it? "Oh, Mr. Scurvin, you know your son. He gonna have all the girlfriends, and he gonna be a fine young man when he get older." You see, we focus on the Eddie Longs in the church, But we don't focus on, and I'm going to tell it, I'm going to use some graphic language. So maybe you might want to get the children away from this, and maybe this might be demonetized. Not that I get a lot of money anyway. But the bottom line is when they start saying that they scoping your child, whether it's a boy child or a girl child, but we watch out for the girl children because we know we have molesters at that age. But how is it? And I've told it before. And like I said, I'm going to start doing my, taboo, shadow world, SCURV After Dark shows where I tell it. And it's going to be on a new Patreon or maybe the old Patreon. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. Right? Here they come. Well, you got them strong muscles. Can you help me? Could you come by and help me? I got to, I ain't got no husband, so I need you to come. I need a strong young man to come and help me move these things in my yard. I got something to do in my house. Oh, you hang ceiling fans too? Yeah, I know how to do that. Well, I need you. When can you come over? Anytime. I go to school during the week. Anytime on the weekend. They didn't want me to come over there on a Saturday. It's a sick thing with some of these women. I'm going to talk about the men too, but I'm talking about my experiences. And I'm really going to talk about the evil stuff, the witchcraft, and the controlling spirits also. We're going to take it one step at a time. We're going to go through this with a fine-tooth comb. I didn't have enough space on the banner to put up the types of people that are in the church. And quite naturally, there's a whole lot more right now because it's like a virus and it morphs and it changes and it gets worse. And it's worse now in 2023 to the point where the black church doesn't even look like a black church anymore. It's black celebrity worship. It's let me get accused of something in the world that I'll come on and act like I'm holy so I can sway the public when I'm a celebrity. Celebrities doing all the most decadence and they're out there wearing crosses. Crosses, a symbol of death. Why not put a tree around your neck, a symbol of life? Why not hang a sperm and an ovary around your neck, a symbol of life? I'm not going to wear nothing where somebody got crucified and died. Is that my future in the society? That's what you're telling me. And for the people who are going there, most of them ain't going nowhere. Well, you can't say that, Mr. Skirvin. We have plenty of good businessmen there. Yeah, because their donations to the church is a damn tax write-off. But you have these women, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, manipulating young LANCESCURV over into their house. And you see that there wasn't much to do. And then when you're a little thirsty, a little hungry, after doing 2 hours of a little bit of nothing, making up stuff to do just to lure you in there. But it's hot that day, and now you're in the house. Oh, it's so nice that you'd come over. I'm just going to take a quick shower. You can eat what I put on the table if you like it. I put a few things out there. And she comes out in a house coat. Now, I'm a young, horny kid. House coat half open, half a titty hanging out, legs hanging out, and you sitting there, house coat falling open, the table's glass, and I can see all that ass. I'm down. But I'm a kid. Of course you're going to be down. You want this, but you're a child. Go find a grown man. And they have all the freakish things that they want to have done. They want to be licked up from the front, licked up from the back, and they calling out Jesus' name. But they're telling you, please, let this be our secret. You can come over anytime you want, but please, let this just be between you and me. And then the next week or two, you're over there. Yes, I went. Looking forward to it. She did some things to me. I knew these things from way back. And then all of a sudden, you're over there. You're not even in the bedroom no more. You by the couch, servicing her. And she had that little Mahalia Jackson fan in her hand. You know the Mahalia Jackson fan, the one where she has her hands together and she looking up? All the old black churches had it. Waving herself. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. I'm telling you what I heard. I'm not blaspheming nothing. Lance, it's wrong, but I can't condone what you're doing. You're blaspheming, calling out Jesus' name in vain. It wasn't me. I had a mouthful. She was the one doing it. Oh, Lord. Oh, God. Lord. Oh, God. And all of a sudden, ding dong. Somebody's at your front door. Yeah, I know. Let me go answer it. What you want me to do? Want to go hide in the bedroom? I'm not supposed to be. It's okay, baby. You sit right there. Church lady come in who I saw earlier at the service with a smirk on her face, with a knowing look on her face. And she wasn't shocked that I was there, with only socks and a t-shirt and some underwear. What the hell am I doing in this woman's house, sitting down on my knees in front of a couch? And she got a slip on. She told that lady. She told that lady what I did and what I'm doing. And guess what? I realized I was a pass around. So is it wonder why I'm all screwed up in the head? That made me more promiscuous, doing the devil's work in the name of the Lord. And you see these people in the church falling out. So this is why you can't tell me, I'm not saying this, all our church sisters. I can sit here for the next 15 hours and tell you experiences that I had in the church. They used me as a pass around and I ran through them. Because my youth and my looks and my innocence, which it wasn't really innocence, but I was fresh because I wasn't bringing no drama, because I wasn't looking for a place to live. Hey, girl, maybe we can, kind of, make it happen, whatever. Well, you ain't got nothing but lint in your pocket, brother. So a lot of these women go for the young boys. Big time. Right? Let's go on to the other ones. I had a crew of friends of mine. I can't say they were my friends' because you know how it is when you're in school and say, for example, I'm in the 4th grade and they're in the 6th grade. 2 grades, 2 years difference. That's a million years when you're in elementary school. When you're a 6th grader, you want no 4th grader hanging around you. But I was friends with many of the 4th graders that were brothers with the 6th graders, so we mixed up. But they would have their time to the side to whisper about things. And usually, a lot of the young men in those days, man, look at that girl butt right there, man. Wow. And all they did was look. Back in those days, nobody was really pursuing anything because it would have been incestuous because everybody knew everybody in these smaller churches. I'm talking about the smaller ones. I'm going to talk about one right off of Rockaway Boulevard in Van Wyck Expressway. I'm not going to say. This is going back in the 70s. There were a crew of young men that were there that they didn't seem interested in the young ladies. They didn't seem interested in any young lady. Where I had my eyes and breaking my neck and, dealing. I was a handsome young man and I utilized it. And they took advantage of me, but I had no problem with it at the time. They seemed to be off to themselves all the time. And one of them, he was so different. I'll say it that way. And I won't call the brother's name, because they all didn't really make it. One made it to 1994. Passed away right before my mother passed away. Them other ones here, they didn't make it to the mid-'80s because of what they were doing. And what do I mean? Well, let's make up a name. I don't want to say the brother's name out of respect. I still love them very much. They were pretty much part of the fiber of me growing up. Although I wasn't with what they were with, we joked, we went to get food afterward, and there was a trust there. There was a brotherhood there to a point. We had a camaraderie, although I wasn't in that crew. Let's just say the one who was built with a little more hips. Let's just say his name was Billy. And Billy was a quiet guy. I was cool with his younger brother. But then there's the other one who was a little more effeminate, and everything, and he was a comedian though, too. Everything out of his mouth when he spoke about Billy, who was built with hips, so to say. He had narrow shoulders and wide hips, and he was hip heavy, and I wasn't looking at him, but he was butt heavy. But ain't nobody looking at that. If you got the wrong thing between your legs, I'm not looking at your butt. So every time he saw the effeminate brother, saw Billy, if Billy was late to being somewhere, oh, Billy, you always late with your fat behind. if we were supposed to meet up at White Castle and get something to eat. Oh, Billy, you always eating too much with your fat behind. Wait a second. Now here we go a third time. And if something happened where Billy drove his vehicle, his parents' vehicle, and had a little fender bender, oh, Billy, you can't drive with your fat behind. What's the common denominator in all his sentences? Yo, fat behind. Look, I'm not trying to preface or end up any sentence talking about no next brother fat behind. So what was that all about? You know what that was all about. That's what he was focusing on. And everybody knew this kind of thing was going on, but nobody said anything. Oh, well, you know, they'll grow out of that phase. No, that spirit is strong. And when it catches you young, and it's a special way when it's in the Black church, it's ignored. Plus the fact when you look at some of these pastors who want to be dominant, I'm not even going to say they're alpha males or sigma males. Never a sigma male. Sigma male is over an alpha male. Google those terms. They just want to be controlling, and they don't want any masculine men in their churches, because lots of times when these pastors are doing their dirt, looking at the sisters, trying the sisters, they don't want anybody to compete with them. They don't want anybody who looks good and who's articulate or who's strong and has a strong charismatic personality to be there. They will do everything from there to get their imps. The pastors got their imps. Find out about that sister over there. Oh, okay, pastor. How are you doing, sister? Is this your first time at this church? Would you like to make this church your church home? Well, I'm out of town. I'm passing through. I might be relocating here in another year or two. But we need to keep in contact, especially when they don't see a man by your side, especially when they don't see a ring on your finger, especially when they see hips and ass that would bring attention to any club any night, make the music stop playing, turn a gay man straight. Pastor got to have that. Find out about her. And here come the sisters. Because lots of times, say the way you want it. And again, this is not every single church. Not every single church. There are some good pastors out there that have good in their heart. But any good pastor that sees anything wayward going on in his community and in his church, he is the ultimate police officer. Because if he has this title, which I don't really get into that title, man of God, that means everything you do represents the Creator. That's a high task to hold down. Don't put that on me. There are many people who see me in my rough state, and you know, Lance, I can see in the future. You are a man of God. Don't put that on me. I'm just a dude that tells the truth the way I see it. Like I told you, I'm an artist. Go to LANCESCURV.com and look under the artwork tab. I'm an artist. I'm a very mature person from young also. I drew many nudes. I did a few nudes of women when I was younger and had to go over their house because they knew I was going to draw it good. There was a woman who, she was almost 400 pounds, very pretty face, dressed nice. And I'm like, what kind of nude is this going to be? I better bring some extra pens and pencil because I'm going to use a lot of ink and lead. And so I had her position herself. And it wasn't totally naked, like she had her legs open. It's never like that. You see the breasts, you see the nipples. They may put something sheer over them or whatever, artistic in the lights in the background. So here I am trying to get the outline just right, all the lines just right. And I love all my sisters, whether they have no waistline at all or whether they have a waistline so big that it's like the extra 3 pairs of titties hanging down. Whatever it may be, I love you. Just stop hitting that Burger King so much. We can work with that. So I drew the woman the way she was. Took all afternoon. She had to take some breaks, but I got the basic shape down. But I had her closing the windows. Why you want me to close in the windows? See, she had a smirk on her face like she just knew I was going to try it. No, I wasn't looking to try her. I explained to her, the sun may be at 11 o'clock a.m. now. You have a lot of windows here. By the time the sun is at 1 and 2 and 3, it will be at a different angle. It will cast different shadows across your body. I want to take a Polaroid snap. Don't laugh at me now. I said Polaroid. This is before digital cameras. Polaroid, right? I want to take a snapshot of you in that position. So in case anything changes, well, we can't have the light change. We need to use the light from the inside. We didn't have the powerful lights that they use that shoot across. We didn't have access to that. So we use the lamps and rearrange the lamps to cast shadows in certain ways. Well, when I finished the picture and gave it to her and let her see it, she screwed up her face. I mean, this was a church woman too. She told my MF, that ain't me. I said, whoa, why you cuss me like that? Well, why you draw me so fat? I said, I drew you exactly as I see you. Well, you see me wrong, baby. I don't look like that. And she broke out with some pictures from 1968 before she hit that pork and all that macaroni and cheese. And she had no waistline in the picture. I said, I can't help that. You told me to draw you as you are now. Delusional. And she went back to the church. Wasn't any regular church I went to. He got up in there and he wanted to close the windows and everything and set the mood. And he was looking at me. He was looking at me. Well, how am I supposed to draw you, lady? You sitting in front of me half naked. You want me to get it right. I got the nipples right. I got the fat right. I got the navel right. I drew every piece of pubic hair right. The face looked just like you, but you wanted me to erase the double chin. And she went and told everybody, oh, he hitting on me. He got up in there and he pulled his thing out and tried to jump on me. No, I didn't. When I saw what you really looked like naked, my thing got so small. When I looked down, I thought I had 3 balls. Went to the bathroom to take a leak. I'm holding a testicle. I was messed up. I had sexual PTSD. But these are the things that go on. And we go on now like a binge purge situation. You know binge purge. If you don't have it, you heard about it. People that have this mental condition that when they eat food, a whole lot of food, they feel guilty and they go to the bathroom or go outside somewhere and put their finger down their throat and throw it all up. You're starving yourself. You're in denial. What is this dysfunctional emotional connection that you have to food? Well, this is how the Black church is. We sin all week, and then we go Sunday morning, and you have some Adventist church that go worship on Saturday, and they argue about that detail. Oh no, it's the perfect day, the proper day to worship is Saturday. All of you Christians have it wrong. But you're trying to hit on all the married women up in there. You're trying to get money out of them. You're trying to do what you do and be pimp daddy. It's the same thing Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. What's that song by Sherelle? Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, all day long. And it's not just the evil Black people in the church, it's the dysfunctional ones that shut up and let it go on. I'll let the Lord handle it. No, you don't want me in your church and have none of my children up in there. They probably wouldn't be up in there anyway. I'm gonna confront you at the service. See me? People always got me wrong. Oh, Lance, he's such a nice, soft-spoken guy. I can just walk all over him or walk all over people around me. I have a breaking point. There are a lot of people out here who don't think I'm a nice guy because I'm not a nice guy. I am a nice guy to a point. But if you don't hear me and me correcting a situation around me, I got the worst gutter mouth and I'm ready to throw down with anybody at that moment. So I'm going to cuss you out, cuss your mama out, cuss your daughter out, cuss your wife out, and your kids. But I got to be pushed to that because you try to exhaust all means of intelligent communication, but you can't do that in the church. My mother never committed to any one church. Well, here we are. What was the church there? It was a Methodist church. I'm trying to call its name, and I'm trying to call the pastor's name. I'll do it. I don't care. This is the new format on LANCESCURV Live in the morning. I'm not going to say morning show. I'm just going to say LANCESCURV Live. It can be LANCESCURV Live at night, LANCESCURV Live in the morning. Look, I can't hold it no more. Look, I'm approaching 60 years old, and something changed in my brain. You know that uncle who's at the cookout? That uncle at the cookout don't give a damn what he say at the family reunion. Where that gay nephew of mine? Why he hiding up there? Come on out here and get some food. We know you're sucking dick. Oh my God, he said it. He said it. And everybody else knows it. So what? Be real. I got no time to wear any masks anymore. There are people that are going to cross me the wrong way on the show in the comment section. I'm going to blow them up. Don't think I got no breaks, because I'm tired of seeing the hypocrisy in the world beyond the black church. So here I am, went to this church. I don't know the pastor's name that made the statement to my mother, but I know the pastor's name, and he was always nice. The other pastor who left, we were going there when this main pastor was there, and I knew he was gay. See, I had gaydar. I know what was going on around me because I was born and raised in New York City, man. Born in the 60s, raised up in the 70s, and a father who taught me everything. I already had the gift of discernment. So, and I say father because my parents were together, but my father was a man who showed me around and told me what was what without sugarcoating it. Driving around with him on his jobs all through Manhattan, all through the city, and he would instruct me. It was like a class on life. And it wasn't something that he forced, whatever. I wanted to know. How come that lady over there got a big Adam's apple and size 14 pumps? I didn't ask it like that, but he told me what it was and why. He guided me. And I can't throw all of that away just to be dysfunctional in 2023 when I open my mouth. And again, if I insult somebody, I'm sorry I did it, but hit the subscribe button, unsubscribe button, and get out of here and don't come back and call me all the names you want to call me. I'm not looking for friends at this point. I could be friendly with you, and I could eventually be friends with you. But the vast amount of people out here, we're not if you come here, you want to come here to hear what I have to say. But I'm not sitting here with this notion. I have my inner circle. You know who you are, who are here. Even if I never talk to you and you feel some kind of way toward me in a good way, then you're a part of my inner circle because you understand where I'm coming from. We're kindred spirits that haven't met. It's like when I moved from New York City to Florida, people say, you don't know nobody down in Florida. I said, I got friends down there I haven't met yet. You have friends waiting for you in this life. You have acquaintances and you have enemies. I came out to Ghana, to Accra, and realized they are enemies, frenemies. I tell them to go to hell too and kiss my yellow ass. I don't care. Look. My mother passed away at 64. She passed away early, right? My father passed away at 74, all right? I'm going to be 60. So I'm going to break them records. But I believe I do have more behind me than I do in front of me. Not in the way of the woman in the picture on the left-hand side. So am I going to go sashay through this rest of this life holding on to people's dysfunctions and wearing a mask or looking the other way? No, I'm not looking the other way for no way. I'm going to live this life the way I need to do it. And if you don't like it or you don't get steamrolled by me, look the other way or run. I'm going to run a lot of people away from me that are fake. I got no time for it. I'm in the old man phase. I'm going to open my mouth and tell it like it is. I'm going to tell it like it is nice. I'm going to give you one chance. If you don't abide by that, then you know what? I'm going to have to give you the business. Just like them church ladies wanted me to give them the business. And they go back and smile on my mother's face. And I didn't mind because I was getting it. I was getting these grown women. And I liked it. I'm not going to lie. But it messed me up. But it showed me how they are. I can't just give trust to anybody. Well, that's the lady from the church. You can trust her. No, you can't. She might try to rip you off for some money. She's screwing your son, man. I'm not saying my mother said that, but it could be any mother. I was down with the hush-hush. Had about 10 of them I was rotating around with. My God, how nasty it was. You know, how nasty it was. And these kind of people who are so hypocritical. And then we have these men in the church. You don't even half know them. You walk in the door, they introduce themselves. Hi. I'm brother so-and-so. Brother? You're a man? But brother, I just met you. I'm saying as a woman, you got to say to yourself, I just met you. What you mean, brother so-and-so? You got to earn that. Because we got people out here who are actual brothers of people who are F-ups, who don't even treat you like a sister or a brother, and they're your blood brother, and they wish death on you. So if you can have a blood brother or a blood sister that you don't talk to for years that wish you were more dead than anything else, so they can come on and they'll come around when you're dead to try to get your stuff. They'll come around when you're dead and try to take over what they can take over, but they don't want to talk to you. And you got a stranger coming to you. I'm brother so-and-so. Yo, back up from that. I'm straightening up dudes on that tip. I'm brother this and I'm brother that. I'm trying to think of the church. I'm trying to think of the church, but they had some revival in Brooklyn, and it was more toward, it was near the Pink Houses in Brooklyn. That's all I can recall. This was 1982. And the crew in that particular church, where the guy was always saying, oh, Billy and your fat behind, I wasn't going with them. I was going with my friend who he was brothers with Billy. But there were other churches that came. Bad choice of words because a lot of people came, orgasm-wise. I'm there, and I was, I'm not going to say the height of my bodybuilding endeavors, but I was winning competitions. The way I looked in that picture is the way I looked. The picture I always flash. I ain't flashing it today. Y'all saw it. Y'all know what I look like. And toward the end of the service, everybody started coming around. These guys started coming around me. Oh, hello, brother. I'd like to talk to you after the service. And I'm trying to be cool now. I'm like, okay. I heard that voice, but okay, let's see what he got to say. I looked to my left, to my rear, of all places. There were two dudes standing there holding Bibles. One had eyeliner on. I'm like, why this guy got eyeliner on? Now, I know when you do musicals and plays and stage and movies, you have stage makeup. For those who don't know, I used to be a male stripper when I was in my teens into my 20s. And there were some performances that you would do where you had to put on stage makeup if it was one of those professional things, because the lights would flood you out and flood your features out. And there were people there, high-priced photographers, taking photos that you can kind of hustle and use to show what you did when you get booked for the next show. But there was no show going on there for you to have stage makeup on, looking like the Joker. I'm like, what the heck is going on? Don't these people see this guy looking like Halloween? So I turned to my left and he waved his finger. Like he's some little chick checking me out at the football game, some little cheerleader or something. Oh, brother, I would like to just talk to you about the Lord. I said, okay, strike two. The service was over. I didn't want to talk to nobody. I'm walking away. And they following me. You ever see one of those cursors on the computer, right? That, you know, the cursor, which you point and click with, right? And the old screensavers back in the day, we still got them. They have either, it could be birds, it could be little balls, it could be little clowns, it could be all these little things, 50 to 100 of them. They jump on you. They jump on the cursor. And when you move the cursor, it gets away for a little while, but all these things are following you around. So little kids like it because they moving the cursor around trying to get away, but you can never get away. I looked, there's like 15 dudes behind me following me. I had to pee real bad. And I was sitting there, I went into the makeshift urinal. They had a part of it there that was like not a building, but it was like some kind of temporary structure. And it was thousands of people at this revival. They had one on one side and one on the other side. I started heading toward one. I saw these brothers behind me, like them things that follow the cursor. I went around the back of it and went over to the next one just to make sure. I said, they must be going to the bathroom at the same time. They followed me. I go to the other one and I'm mad now. And so I'm sitting there taking a leak. You know the urinal. Ladies, you know, you probably peeked in the man's bathroom and see what you stand up and this thing you pee in. You can go to the stall too, which I should have done. I'm sitting here peeing and my peripheral vision sees three guys next to me staring at me. They're not even peeing. Now on the left side, one dude was peeing and he looking at me smiling. That was a weird feeling. I'm standing there. I got my dick in my hand. Another dude got his dick in his hand, smiling at me, and 3 are looking at me. Nah, that's too much. I finished what I did, shook it off, rinsed my hands, and guess what? Oh, we want to talk to you. I said, listen, y'all don't want to talk to me about no Lord. I know what time it is. Oh, what do you mean? You're our brother. Jesus loves you. Whatever. Yeah, Jesus loved me, but what's in it for you? Oh, what are you saying? I said, wait a second. You don't know me. I'm not interested in this, but you're here. Your soul must be eager to hear some word. I don't want to hear no word from you. Why are you being insulting to us? I said, because you're using this thing as a shield and a cover because y'all trying to get to suck my dick. Get away. You'll get something down your throat. It'll be a foot. Get away from me. Now, if anybody want to say that's gay bashing, then you need to gay bash when it's like that. The way to do it when you're a homo, you throw that eye contact. If the eye contact don't come back with the same eye contact, you got to look in your face like, listen, I ain't with it. Leave it alone. There's enough dudes out there taking it up the butt and sucking off other dudes. Why you want to mess with a straight man? They always like trying to violate a straight man. Straight man is fresh meat. Straight man is virgin meat. We don't care how many women he been with, but see, we like it when he have a lot of women because they come to us because we know, and they're like breaking you down. I'm the first one. Ooh, and I had his toes wiggling. I had him calling out the Lord's name. Don't superimpose that foolishness on me with your twisted fantasy. And they are just as guilty as those church women that I went with willingly. Yeah, I went with them willingly. And I liked it. And for a long time, I was looking for more of it. And I saw it. It was all over the place. But evil black church people, when I was making the banner for this particular program, and I Googled some images, I'm an artist, I see things ahead of time. Now, whoever those hands belong to on the banner could be a sweet little old lady. But to me, I said, them hands look evil. Mr. SCURV said, how can you tell evil hands? I said, them hands look evil. Sitting up in the church, full of hate. Ain't got nothing to do. Can't even cut the grass in your backyard. Probably didn't even wipe your backside right, but you right there front and center to see everything that's going on. And them church lady phone calls after the service. Boy, I know they're having a good time now with this unlimited service. I can pay one price for the month. I can call all over the world, and we can do group calls. I drove past Sister Shirley's house last night, and you know whose car I saw up in the driveway? Brother Charles. And he married. And when they gossiping, they can't even say married. It's one word, mad. You hear the evil coming out. And he mad. Double sword. You know Sister Shirley getting some, and your dusty old stuff ain't getting none. And you ain't married either. And if you were, you'd probably be driving your husband into the arms of another woman. With your gossipy self. Them kind of women can't take care of their business, but they're all up in somebody else's business, and they dipping and dabbing. I know about them ladies. They rushing out to church service only to go and play the number so they can hit. Pastor license plate got 1, 2, 3 in it, and I heard some rap song had 1, 2, 3 in it, and I had 3 pennies in my pocket. 1, 2, 3. I'm gonna play that number, and you never hit with your evil self. Been playing and got the dream books. You know about that, right? Come on, tell me you don't know about that. I know in the inner cities they have the dream books. I got to get my dream book. They got numbers in there, and you pick from there. Maybe and you're always dreaming something. Always dreaming something with numbers and putting it on God. If God want to bless you with something, the creator of the universe, it's going to come to you, but it's not going to come to you out of evil works. And this is the thing that bedazzles a lot of us also, because evil people can be very affluent. Evil people can have lots of money. It doesn't mean that they're blessed. It means a lot of them are doing some dirt. I have no problem with anybody having anything. I don't care about that. And I'm not going to put it on God. I'm not going to put it on the creator and say, well, if the evil man is blessed, that means I'm less than him. And it's not fair. It's not about money anyway. We passing through this situation fast. And it doesn't mean when you do have money that you're evil. But black folks got all kind of dysfunctional mentalities toward money. They brag about the riches of their pastor that they gave them. I saw 2 old ladies sitting on the bus stop, poor, didn't even have enough money to get on the bus. My pastor bought a new Lexus, or my pastor bought a new Rolls. And both of y'all got more toes than teeth. Both of y'all broke as hell. You think because they got a cat in the house, all that cat food is for them? They eating the cat food too. But they're giving all the money to the pastor because if you bless the man of God, you're going to be blessed. And evidently he ain't no man of God because you ain't blessed. And we equate that. See? We equate that with being blessed. Money. There's a lot of ways of being blessed. How about peace of mind? How about being happy that you are awakened this morning? You mad because the next person's sporting a new car, or you mad because the person next door got a bigger house than you, and you mad. You what? We so stupid. We stupid as black people anyway. But the church is worse. The church is worse. Somebody was asking me about prisons the other day. And I said, prison is just like the outside world. What you mean? You got prostitution in there. You got drugs in there. You got crime in there. You got all kind of hustles in there, except it's condensed and amplified even more. So when you come out, you learn some hustles. I've seen some things and I learned some things. And I thought I knew pretty much all of it. And when I started working in those circumstances, I'm like, God, dog, y'all are just, how do you think this stuff up? And these dudes come out and go into the church because, like I said earlier, they may not have much, but they get that suit and they study the Bible when they were in church or when they were in jail or when they were in prison. And these women are willing to say, they don't hide, you know, the Lord came to me in my jail cell and I was a changed man. All the things that I did, I have a record, an extensive record for stealing vehicles. Even when I move into a new town, the cops let me know, anytime a car is stolen from this point on, we're going to come to see you. But the Lord came to me and it changed my life. And I want to build. And that woman is looking at this handsome, muscular man who's been resting for the last 5 years. Laying around, sleeping, get up, eat a little food, do a little workout. Like they say, I'm going to say it in graphic terms. Y'all women know what it is. Y'all say it. Ain't nothing like that fresh out of prison dick. Ain't nothing like that dick that been just waiting. And the church ladies know it. I know of a church where they had a program, right? In North Carolina. There was a program for guys who were locked up some pretty long sentences, but they were model prisoners. And they allowed them to come to a church. They didn't have the prison outfits on, but there was a van that brought them, maybe 10, 15 of them, and they mixed and mingled. Of course, they were being watched. But most of the time when you have programs like this, and maybe it's 6 months before a person who is classified as an inmate is released, do you think that he wants to try to escape and add on years to his sentence when he's almost free? So these guys are on their best behavior. And they were on their best behavior. So, you know, you had a guy who was out in the hallway. Around the perimeter, they had maybe 2 or 3 officers around the church and one inside. And so, you know, these guys get up and go to the bathroom. They're talking to people while the service is going on. There are a lot of beautiful, young, sexy women there and some old, sexy women there, too, who understand that prison dick is the best dick that you can get because they're going to tear you up, not because they're so good in bed, but because they got to tear you up because some of them need a place to live. But you can live here, and I know you ain't got no job, but, you know, when I'm going to work, you stay inside. You don't let nobody know because you ain't supposed to be living here anyway. Your name ain't on the lease, but you stay inside, don't make no noise, and you have pet dick at home. And a lot of women overall like pet dick that they can control, that doesn't have a job, that doesn't have anybody because he needs me. It's a sick, twisted mentality that's in the outside world and in the church. And I'm not saying every single woman. Anything I say, y'all, don't come at me in the comment section and talk about, well, it's not me. Well, if you took time to write a long paragraph or half a damn book in there telling me it's not you, it probably is you, and I stepped on your toes and I touched the nerve the wrong way. And depending on how you come at me, I might block and delete you. All you can do is watch, and you ain't gonna comment. I don't need this aggravation at this age. In whatever age it is, and whatever time I'm supposed to leave this earth, I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm not gonna die from emotional constipation. I'm gonna let it all out. You know when you sit in the toilet extra 5 minutes and you know you ain't really done, but you can get up and move, but you're like, I ain't really done. No, I'm going to sit there until I'm done. I don't care how much of a line is outside. I'm going to spread eagle, bend my stomach, poke it a little bit, squeeze a little bit. I'm getting it all out. What the hell happened with SCURV today? He was a nice guy. Like I said, I'm still a nice guy. But I'm going to let that extra 25% come out. Because, you know, when you try to be genteel and mannerable, sometimes you got to give it. And like them church ladies taught me, they wasn't looking for nobody to make love to them. Earlier on, they talking about in the church, oh God, I love you, oh God, I came in a Honda. I came in a Toyota, so what? And later on, you saying the same thing, and you're not even saying, make love to me. You F-U-C-K me, F-U-C-K me. What the hell? We need an exorcism over here. This lady done turned into a demon. Just a few minutes earlier, she was falling out, speaking in tongues. Now she's using a tongue on me so deep, I don't need toilet paper for the next 2 weeks. I'm going to tell it like it is. I done been through it, y'all. I can't hold back no more. It's like you hold secrets to somebody and you can't take it no more. I got to tell it. It'd be a crime for me not to tell it. So maybe if you don't know certain things, and it doesn't mean every situation in life, it doesn't mean every single church woman that may get with a guy who is locked up, that might be the match made in heaven. It might not be, but everybody got to hustle. And most people are thinking about, what can I get out of this? This is why most con games get you duped. There was a dude who came to me in a parking lot years ago. You know this con game where they have a handkerchief, not a handkerchief, but what is the thing there? Yeah, handkerchief, right? Big handkerchief, and it's rolled up, and it got lots of money in there. You know, 50s, 100s, what the hell? And they come to you with some foreign accent. Listen, my brother, somebody's following me, and I have my life savings right here. Please, can you hold this for me? I need you to hold this for me, so if they apprehend me, then I won't have it, and I will come back to you and contact you, and I know I can trust you. And you're like, look at all that money right there. He wouldn't mind if I took half of it. I mean, hell, if he got somebody coming to kill him, I got to get paid. Well, I need you out of trust. And I don't understand this part, how people get fooled. I need you to put $100 inside of it and add on to it so I can know that you're trustworthy. That don't make no sense to me. Either I'm trustworthy or not. And then they hand you the daggone thing, the round thing with all the money in it. But they distracted you for a second, and they had another one with newspaper in it. And I know that hustle. And they told me, oh, I think I see them coming. Well, I knew what time it was. And I had my eye on that. And this happened to be, I was like 17 years old. It was in Manhattan. He had the thing in his hand. I'm like, let me see if he tries to switch this thing. He tried to distract me. I grabbed it and shoved his ass down to the ground and ran down to the subway. I had about $2,000 on me. I'm not a thug, but don't thug me. I'm going to put my money in that and you switch it and I get newspaper. I would never rip anybody off. But if you come to me, if anybody comes to me with a gun or a knife to rip me off, I'm going to be the super thug. Now you done open the floodgates. I'm going to hustle the hustler. I'm going to knock you out and take all the money in your pocket. I wasn't bothering you. You're going to be the one running to the police. He took my money. He did? What? How did it happen? Tell him the truth. Well, I was trying to rob him. Okay. Case closed. See, in this world, I'm going to tell you, even if you're younger than me, I think I have a lot of juice, the juices of youth flowing through my veins. I ain't done on this level yet, but I've been here a little bit now. Couple decades more than some people, which doesn't make me a scholar because there are many people who are younger than me and even half my age that are my elders. And I honor them as that because they have become scholarly in a certain area of expertise, and I go to them for advice. But when it comes to real life advice, and I done been through it all. I never did drugs. I don't do crime. But when it comes time to seeing the dirt and the lies and deception, and I know women, I'm not going to say I know you because I know women, but I know how women can be, and I know how dudes can be. You understand? And I ain't having it. I'm not going to even let certain things happen at this point in my life. Not on my watch. Not on my watch. Ain't nobody accusing me of nothing. Hey, man, I think you hitting on my woman. Nope, I was never around her. It was always people around. And she was inside and I was outside. I don't trust you around my kids. You ain't never going to have me around your kids. I don't do kids. That's the worst thing you can have being put on you. Never, never, never would I be put in that situation for anybody to even think of anything bad. But I do have integrity, as gritty as I can be. And there are a lot of people out here who can vouch for me. See? So you have these people who, in the black church, they've been there for a long time. These are these long-standing family churches, like the one I spoke about on Rockaway Boulevard, off of the Van Wyck Expressway in Queens. This is almost a 50-year too late blow-up. All them people halfway got to be dead in there, except the ones my age. And some of my age are gone too. Don't even know it. You ever get a phone call or you find out in passing, you go back to your old neighborhood and you've been passing through there sporadically every year, every other year, and you ask about somebody. What you mean you asking about old Rusty? Old Rusty been dead for about 12 years now. What? You might have saw his lookalike 2 weeks ago. You say, yeah, I saw old Rusty down the road. It must not have been all Rusty because he's been dead for 12 years. So you go back to these situations and dysfunctions and things that were going on under your nose that you never knew about were happening. You see, these black churches are like a pretty rock in the yard, in the garden. Oh, look at that rock garden you got. That's such a pretty stone. Wait a second. That stone wasn't there 2 weeks ago. No, it's a new stone. It's a stone I added on. You go ahead and move that stone after the rainy season, and you'll see all kind of weird looking bugs with 3 eyes. I saw a caterpillar with a dick bigger than mine. I was like, what kind of thing is that? And I looked again, it was gone. I was like, what the hell? What was going on under that rock? They're discovering new insects, new fish, new species, different types of animals. So we have now, this is demon time, y'all. All that you've known of church scandals before, that was nothing. It gets better with time. It gets more evil with time. Since CERN released and cut through the barrier between the physical and spiritual world, and it's a torn open portal that released these demons on the world, don't you see crimes more decadent? We always had rape, we always had robberies, we always had this, but this stuff is worse now. The crimes are they're more evil. It's not about, I want to rob somebody. Why you want to rob somebody and stick a gun up their anus and blow their anus? So why do you have to do all that extra? Is it money that you're looking for? I knew a dude locked up that he did a string of robberies, him and a bunch of guys. And after he did the thing, he want to play around in the man's ass. The other dudes are, what are you doing? Yo, what's up with the gay shit? So these things are more twisted. The more you can say, no, it can't be. I say, yes, it can be. I give you 3 days. Hell, I give you 2 days. Within 2 days, look through the news and find how many things, the local news now, because CNN ain't going to talk about that stuff. I'm Anderson Cooper, and I'm not going to talk anything bad about the gays. But there's all kind of molestations and things that be going on for a long time, and men locking women down in their basement for 10 years, and just all kind of stuff going on. And could you imagine the stuff that's not caught? Could you imagine the stuff that the news doesn't get to, it doesn't get revealed? Now, this ain't got nothing to do with the church, and it still has something to do with the church, because a lot of these church people who are not actually doing the evil things, they know what's going on and they keeping their mouth shut. You just as bad. You want to say I'm going to hell for talking about it? I say you going to a super hell for not talking about it, and you knew it while y'all were under the rock coexisting with this dysfunction. Like I said, the black church back in the day, in the times of slavery, we had to survive, and massa wasn't on our backs as much. And that's where we get the whole thing of staying in church and trying to keep church going as long as we can. Mama, I was in Bible study and went to the service and we ate a little bit of food and we went to the evening service. Mama, it's after 12 midnight. I got to go to school in the morning. I ain't do my homework yet. Well, the Lord will take care. We're going to stay in here till the morning time. We're going to tarry. Come on now. Y'all know about that word. We're going to tarry in the Lord all night. Why? Why you got to do that? And you don't have the balls or the guts or the ovaries to take care of the situation if you are a man or woman of God. Those are your words. Those are not mine. Cops don't just pop up out of nowhere. Let's say in a perfect world, cops don't do things and shoot down black people and are racist and beat them down. Let's just say cops are pristine. And I do know a handful of pristine cops, and they know some good ones too. So I'm not even, there's a couple of cops probably watching this one right now, and I know who they are. I ain't gonna say who it is. But if the cops are a representation of the law, that means that what they do reflects the law, right? So if you're a man or woman of God, well, guess what? You have the authority to do what it is needed to do when you encounter a situation. Does a cop show up and see a man in his home with bloody knuckles and the woman busted up and her eyes closed, blood coming out of her nose, and he stand there? No, he represents the law and he has legal authority to go in and arrest that man. So you as a Christian, if you are a woman of God or a man of God, if you say that, don't tell me that and you are in a dysfunctional situation and you don't do a damn thing about it. Because you're not representing what you claim to represent. It's a sideshow. It's a clown show. I used to do dirt back in the day and I'm making up for it with a fake facade show. We all have our reasons. But the hypocrisy, I've seen more sincerity and love in whorehouses. Did I go to whorehouses? Yes. Did I purchase vagina in whorehouses? No. When you young guys and you got a couple of y'all, hey man, I'm gonna go up in there and get laid. Me, I never had no problem. I wasn't wasting no money on paying for some public receptacle. But I wanted to see what it was like. We went up in there lots of times. A couple times I'm sitting out there with the other girls that are waiting to woo other men over, half naked. The cops walk in. The white shirts, the lieutenants, the captains. And they walk in the back with the madam and come out. Don't worry. Carry on. You didn't see us here. Because they were getting their payoff. There's a lot of gritty things going on. A lot of gritty things. And they sign off on things. Look at T.D. Jakes trying to distance himself from what he knew Eddie Long did. And I don't want to hear nothing about people talking about, oh, we don't know. Only God knows. Well, like I said before, and I'll say it again, I'm not paying for nothing that I wasn't guilty of. Millions? I'll say that to my grave. I'm not paying for nothing that I'm not guilty of that. I'm not giving up no money. Let's go to court. Let it all hang out. But people didn't look between the lines. Eddie Murphy. Eddie Murphy too, picking up transvestites, dudes in dresses. He ain't claiming to be nothing in the church. I'll leave him alone. We all know about that one. Him and Johnny Gill living on his property. My, you sure look good tonight. Who is he talking about? Eddie Murphy? We'll leave that alone for another show. That's none of my business. That's none of my business. Right? But Eddie Long was politically connected. You would see him, which you shouldn't do when you're in the church like that. And he was connected with people high up in law enforcement. This man had so much money and influence. Of course, you're going to be part of secret societies where they have the secret handshakes. I don't know if he was or not, but the money he had and the influence he had, we know what it is. Like that old grandmama sitting up on the steps, like I always say, Young girl, granddaughter come home. Oh, he's my new boyfriend. I love him. I'm going to marry him one day. And the boy says everything right. And the boy walks away. And the grandmama looks over her glasses. You know, the glasses got the chain on the side. Baby, that boy ain't no good. He gonna break your heart. Grandma, you always saying the best about those boys. Why don't you say something? No, he gonna break your heart worse than the other one. You better stay away from that boy. You can be friends with him, but don't you fall for him. And she walks away mad. You can be mad all you want. I'm your grandmama and I love you, but I live life and I know what I'm saying. And 3 days later, she come back crying because she caught the boy with another girl up on her porch kissing her. I don't mean to rub it in your face, baby. And holding the little girl, but grandma love you and I'm not gonna lie to you. And LANCESCURV loves his people and I ain't gonna lie to you. Maybe you can avoid some of the sugar honey iced tea that I had to go through. But when you look at that woman in the dress going to church on the left-hand side, you know what that is. You know what that is. It's evident. Do I have to see her doing the do with somebody's husband, whatever? You know what that is. All them nice luxury cars parked out there. And she gonna take her little putt, chitty bang bang car and park it over there. Knowing she got to put antifreeze in there every 5 blocks. And so she hangs around the church waiting for the men who own those cars. And she comes out, I've seen this. And she comes outside and pulls open the hood and bends over and just waits with the daggone antifreeze. Guys ain't over there yet. She gonna stand there like the Statue of Liberty. And then when they come over, she bends over. She hikes that skirt up a little bit and bends on over. And when she bends, she ain't even bending over naturally. You know, when you bend over, your back curves. Why are you bending over and your back is arching like a cat in heat? And you got all the brothers over there coming over to help you now. Well, maybe you should leave the car here, sister. I'll drive you where you have to go. And we can get somebody to, I know a mechanic. Get all this help. Like they want to really help you, men of God. Yeah, they want to have you saying, oh, God. They want to make a deposit in your hairy bank. That's just what it is. Not everybody, but some people. And out of the some people, it's a lot more than what you think because we can't know what people are thinking. Well, let's get back to the witchcraft. There was a pastor's wife in Queens. I can't say I know her like that because I was much younger, but you know them. It's not like, you know, you come over to the house. Hi, how you doing? Let's talk politics. I'm going to invite you over to dinner. At 8 years old, no. You, hi, you know, Pastor so-and-so and whatever. You're a little kid. Know your place. But little kids can tell you some stuff. They're not as dumb as you think they are. They might be playing with that little car running across the ground, but their ears are like satellite dishes listening to everything you're talking about. And the kids talk about it. Oh, I heard my mama talking about how sister so-and-so got caught with the pastor and so-and-so and whatever. And the kids know it. You ask them about it, they ain't going to tell you. They'll smile. Like, Lord, I'll take you to McDonald's if you tell me. They look at each other. Don't tell I tell. Don't tell nobody I told you. They know it. They ain't dumb. Because they're seeing it for what it is. This pastor's wife was jealous of one of the women she was just a member of the church. She worked hard. She took care of her children. She wasn't a single mother, but the husband was sick, genuinely sick. I won't say what kind of condition because it will give it away. I'm not trying to bring any shame to anybody involved. Probably the pastor's wife. I won't even do that. It's about the situation. And so this woman who had the children, and she wasn't struggling, but she wasn't rich. She wasn't ahead. It was like, you know, you barely get enough to pay your bills. Say, I got an extra 150. What can I do to save myself some hassle from next month's bills? If anything, they should have helped her out. She was sincere. She gave of her time. She came and would help clean up the church. She would come to the different functions and help out to bring order to these things while she brought her children to help out too. Those kind of women, you got to give them some money and help them out. It don't have to be no big announcement. We're going to help out so-and-so. It's not about making you look good. You do it on the low. That's God's work, damn it. You only want to go visit the people in the hospital who look a certain way and who, you know, or they have money. Nah, this pastor's wife couldn't stand how this woman, humble woman, truly one of the throwback God-fearing women, even if you don't believe in Christianity or not, her heart was so sincere in front, in the public, and behind closed doors. A very lovely woman. And I'm going to find a way to reach out to her because I grew up always in her home. In many homes too, but that one. If they had 2 pieces of bread and they had to split it all between the children, I was in that tally. They made sure I got it. Exceptional woman. But the pastor's wife hated her because she could sing her behind off. When that woman opened up her mouth and sung, she's from the South, which doesn't mean you can sing, but she was one of them old school, raised up in the old school South, raised up picking cotton, having it the hard way, taught that that was the right way and embraced it that way, sincerely. And she would keep her mouth quiet sometime about the dysfunction, and she began to know how to open up her mouth and deal with it because she knew that she had the legal right as a woman of God to go and talk about any situation that wasn't right around her. It wasn't no thing about, hey, none of my business. If somebody's violating, and it's something that crosses your path or involves something in your household, you go to it. Things got to go, how do they say it? Decent and in order. Because anything under the Lord is done decent and in order. And like Positively Angela says, it's all about the law. The law. We get it twisted in the church. We need to take that European English name away, the Lord. No, the law. Thus saith the law. Ain't no white man law, Lord. The law. I don't care how much money you got. You go to the top of a building, a skyscraper, and jump off. Gravity ain't going to treat you no different. Oh, you have money, affluence, status. No, we're going to work in reverse and put you back on the building. No, your ass is about to be mush, just like anybody else. That's the law. It doesn't change for anybody. So this woman had gotten 2 matchsticks and formulated into some kind of X or some kind of something, glued it together and whatever. And her mission was to get over to this woman, the good woman now. The pastor's wife was going to the good woman and put this thing in her hair. She went and, oh, your hair looks so nice, and patted it and stuck this thing in her hair. And I think that this woman, the good woman, might have had a wig on that day. I've known her to wear wigs. Well, I ain't got no time to do my hair today. I got to throw this wig on. Because if she didn't, and she had hair, but if she didn't wear the wig, she would have felt this thing in her head and her putting this thing. And I think the pastor knew that that was a wig and she can get away with it because she wouldn't feel it as easy. So she put this thing in her hair. And she looked at another wig that she had from 2 weeks before. That thing was in the hair. I was like, wait a second, what did she put in my head? And then things began to happen in the household. I know because I was always over there. I had to stop going over there because about 2 or 3 times I saw some things with my own eyes. There was manifestations of things that you can see. I used to spend the night over there. You get them, go to the bathroom and see some little fuzzy black thing floating across the floor. I'm like, yo, I'm out. It's true. I didn't believe them. I saw it. And then they went through some hardships after that until she confronted the situation and confronted the woman who vehemently denied it, but she did it. Who knows what else she was doing? Who knows if she got a hold of the food that they had at these functions and put something in it? A pastor's wife? You're the pastor's wife. And that particular pastor, he wasn't known for womanizing. He seemed to be a good man. And in all the years that he was a pastor over that church, he never had a bad name or a bad incident or something in whispers spoken about him. It was that wife. You see, sometimes we have these women, and I'm not throwing off on women now because we have men who are power hungry, but we have some of these women, these little Jezebel ass women who hide behind scripture and righteous law, which is law, whether it's in the Bible or not, because they want that position of power of this first lady thing. First lady? Wait a second. I go to a church with my wife and I got to say, this is the first lady? Ain't my wife supposed to be my first lady? That ain't got nothing to do with the Bible. We got to separate what is of the Bible for those who are into it, which is a lot of contradictions. And then a lot of things you have to have a better understanding to understand. But there's a lot of truth in it because it's been messed with. A lot of things happening now in this day they talked about. Some people say, well, somebody wrote it and they knew in the future they can act it out and people who in the church will believe it. I don't know about that. I just know what I see in the evil of this day and how it's accelerating. How you're going to have all kind of rainbow lifestyles. And clearly in the Bible, it speaks against that. But you don't want to lose your tax status, so you shut up with it. And everybody in your choir sashaying. Oh, yes, we're going to have another round here of songs. I just want to thank Pastor. Yes, let's get a good hand for him. Pastor's so sweet. Or maybe you giving it away. Maybe he is. Maybe that's why his knees are dirty standing up there in the pulpit, because he's sweet. Either he's bending over or he's servicing you. And you got the nerve to do this stuff? Did y'all see the clip a couple years ago? It was a clip that was circulating on WhatsApp. They couldn't do this on YouTube. You know, Facebook will come after you for putting certain things out there, but they leave the door open, right? Because they don't come after you on WhatsApp. People have sent me things on WhatsApp. I'm like, what is this, the porn channel? Well, there was a pastor's son, and I haven't even looked in the chat room yet. I haven't, since the beginning of the show, we got 221 comments. God, dog, I'm not ignoring you. I'm just in my zone. You'll know how I do. But there was a pastor's son who went into the church in the front row. There was nobody else there, of course, and was given oral sex to another dude while the dude videotaped it. And the dude who was the pastor's son who was giving head to another man, ain't no man supposed to give no head to the next man. You give head to a woman to a man. You know, there's all kind of freaky situations. I've seen the woman thing lots of times, right in front of my face. I was right there. But that's another story. I'm not saying this any less, because I got a lot of gay dudes. Well, see, you was doing that with them two women, and you wasn't knocking it. You was up in the middle of it, and you was with somebody who was like that. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. It was a how do you say it? Not a crude taste, but it was a thing where you'd keep doing it and you start to like it. So that's when I had all them demons inside of me. I know that side of things. I'm a savvy old warrior. I'm a grimy old warrior. I can tell you the tricks because I've been there. So when I see something, I know what I'm looking at. So I'm not going to try to sit here and dress it up like, oh no, I've been through a few things, you know, but I don't recall. No, I remember every bit of it. It taps me on the shoulder every now and then. Hey, remember me? Here's an opportunity to do this again. No. I made it this far. I don't need that. I got a clean bloodstream, and I'm so glad. That's like jumping in the pool and swimming for 2 hours and jumping out dry. I ain't got caught nothing, never did, never had. I ain't never gonna will do it. Not gonna do it, not here. Go chase somebody else. I know what all them things are like. I still like a few things now, but it's nothing out the norm. But yeah, these people with their witchcraft, occult. It's just like when I tell people, you know, we have this big thing now all over YouTube, people moving to Africa. It's fashionable now. Back in the day, you say something about Africa. I ain't got nothing to do with no Africa. I don't want to live in no mud huts. I don't want to sleep up in no trees and run around with lions and tigers bite me up and having babies run around big bellies and flies. And, you know, white people got to save them because, you know, the white people nice. They put these commercials out there and save the African kids. Them white people, when they out there videotape with their cameras, they set these scenarios up. How do they find it? Where is this place where they have the babies with the big bellies hungry? Like, do they get in the airplane or go to the airport? I need to find the country in Africa where the babies are hungry. We need to go there and shoot something right now. They arrange that. And do you think they sleep out there with the people that they say, all right? Africa got so much food growing, y'all. Free food. You don't need no wick. You don't need no snap. You don't need no whatever. You go out where everything's growing free. You can eat mangoes until your doo-doo looks like mango. Like I said, when I first came out here, I ate so many mangoes. I was in the hotel room. Mrs. SCURV didn't come on that trip. I was by myself in the room. And I went and used the bathroom. And I was about to leave out. The young lady came, it was near noon, and knocked the door. And she said, I'd like to straighten up the room. I said, well, it's not really that bad, but if you want to, you can. And you know, they're trustworthy. They come in the room and they clean up and whatever. And so I made sure. I went back and said, oh, did I flush the toilet? I did. So she was coming to straighten up and she did like this. And I said, you all right? She said, yes, but what is that? I said, what you talking about? Oh, you sprayed something. I said, I didn't spray anything. What are you talking about? Ah, it's coming from the bathroom. I said, oh my God, I hope I didn't smell that bad. I thought she was joking. Make me feel bad. It was stinking in the bathroom. She was like, oh no. I said, maybe in my mind, I said, what is she, a shit freak or something? Oh, it smells so good. I said, what are you talking about? I didn't spray anything. I didn't put anything in here different. Oh, it smells so good. I said, oh, I know what it is. I said, I just ran out of it. What is it? I said, it's something that I did spray. What is it? I said, it's Essence de Mango. Oh, you've got to get me a bottle of that. I said, this lady, I ate so much mangoes, man. I made the room smell good when I what? That was funny though. But getting back to the witchcraft, because I'm going to wrap this down soon. We're going to retitle. We're on a roll. I'm not going to bore you with no 6-hour show. We don't do that no more. You know what I mean? We hit it and quit it. But we're going to continue tomorrow. But I just want to say that with these people who are into the witchcraft, they will cover the witchcraft in the occult and call it African spirituality, when in fact it doesn't have a damn thing to do with African spirituality. And they get up on these YouTube videos and talk about African spirituality and African spirituality. It's nothing but the white man's occult. There is practices in the motherland that are innocent and original, and you know that there's no venom behind it. But people come from other places with their occultic secret handshake self and wrap themselves in the dashikis and wrap their hair and wear the ankhs and, brother this and brother that. But they're performing their rituals and their animal sacrifices to bring people down. I should know. People have done sacrifices in my name and I'm still here. So what happened to your occult? Dummies. So when you see people coming over here and even over there in the church, across the black community, across the continents of the world, you have people who profess Christianity, but like Hamburger Helper, they got to add a little something on in there. That shows you they don't believe or feel they know that this thing is real anyway. You know, you go to the diner sometime after you go to the club. In America, they call it Denny's, or in New York, they have different spots, whatever. And you are hungry. You've been dancing. Some of the people have been drinking. They dehydrated. They ordered up all this food. So you order the double hamburger deluxe with cheese and fries. And you eat a whole one and order another one and eat it halfway and get full and get a little doggy bag to take it home. When these people go in, I'm speaking about Christianity. I don't know anything about anything else. They getting the double hamburger deluxe with the fries and the pickle and this and that and a large drink, because they're adding in the occult with Christianity, looking at you barefaced with their ignorant asses. And when I talk about it, they feel chastised. Oh, I'm going to get some emails today. You don't know what you're talking about. Yes, I do. Because I've had things done to me. I've had things done to me. I've had women who use their monthly pad to come put it around my house and bury it to try to get back at me because I ain't with them. This is real. I had that happen to me damn near 3 times. The people that come around your house at night and you fast asleep, and they sprinkle a little powder around your door, just a little bit, you know, for you to cross over. Mr. Scurv can tell you, in Orlando, Florida, woke up one morning and there were bird feathers with bird seeds neatly arranged at the front door. It had to happen like 5 in the morning because I was up doing a blog talk radio show to about 4:30. And then Mr. Scurv had cleaned up the night before. This was a Friday night into a Saturday morning. And when she cleaned, even the bugs don't want to fly around it. Oh no, but they ain't going over there. That's a violation. It was clean all night. So somebody came over there on the corner lot of that home and arranged those things. And it wasn't a bird that got killed from some cat. There was no blood. There was no bird. It was just the feathers with bird seed. And it was arranged a certain way. And it was there, waiting for me to cross over. Y'all know Miss Scurv went to America. She said it herself. When she was gone, there were stilettos put in front of my apartment door. Red, high heel. You know, stilettos is a sexual connotation with that. Just like the things that women wear, and now those things are fetishized and it means something sexual. I'm going to put on something sexy for my man. I'm going to put on this little garter belt and this little strap and this little thing and the nipples poked out and the crotch poked out. And all. We know what time that is. So what are you trying to say? Because when I left out to go to the store to pick something up, it was a restaurant actually, not too far from here. I ordered and I went out. When I got there, the food was ready and there was a motorcycle brother. I call him that. Come on, I'll take you back. So I got back quick. And when I got back, the shoes were there. They watched me and waited for me to leave because I don't have a schedule. So it had to be somebody who just was around here all the time or lives around here. Oh, he's gone. Let's do it. I had a woman 2 o'clock in the morning one time come here with a mini skirt and a little high heels on. Oh, I see your lights on and I know you were the guy from the video. I want to know, since your wife is gone, can I help you clean? Titties and ass hanging out. Half her butt cheeks were out. Either you were trying to set me up to come in here and I'm like a fool and you cased the joint and some other dudes bust in here, or you coming in here for some scandal. No, I don't need nothing clean. I know what you're trying to clean and that don't need cleaning. Then I had to get fierce on her. Don't you ever bring your ass up in this place no more. Why are you talking to me like that? Because I don't go there, I don't get down like that. You know what a gun tastes like? Everything that's glitters is not gold. You let strange people in your house or you tell them things and they know somebody. I don't want to look, nobody coming to my house unless I really, really know you and get down and we really whatever, by invite only. And if I find you up and I'm tossing you out physically, I keep saying it, that's why you're gonna try me. Why'd you do that? Haven't I been saying that every week? I don't trust these situations, and I'm not going to put myself in a situation for things to happen. And all of this stuff where people talk about Christianity, they could be damn devils up in the occult. And you go to a new church, they want to come visit you to case your joint. Oh, we'd like to visit you, son. They want to visit you to see what car you got up in your driveway. They want to visit you to see how expensive your furniture is. They want to visit you to ask you to use your bathroom. You think they're just using the bathroom to take a dump or take a leak? They stay in there long. They all up in your medicine cabinet to see if you want on any kind of medication. They in there counting toothbrushes. Well, we don't see nobody else here, but he got 4 toothbrushes and they don't look new. Trying to see if you got a man. They worse than the government coming up in there. Social workers trying to see what you got and judge what you got. And they're going to hate you later on for it. Because chances are where you live is looking better than where they live. Now they're resentful. And we in human nature, if you notice, maybe not all of us, but from young, we want to be accepted. We want to be included. When you go to these churches, they love bomb you. They're the people who are there as members who are designated. They love, oh, welcome. Oh, this. Oh, we got this for you. We brought this for you. And you think you made it into heaven until you get in. and they know your sugar honey iced tea, and they can't get no more out of you. You know, when you try to make lemonade and you get that plump lemon, you're like, ooh, I got a plump lemon. Squeeze all the juice out of that bad boy. Where you can't get no more juice out of it. You ready to toss it down. You get the Sunday paper for those who still read the actual paper, if you do. And you can't wait to get the paper in the morning. It's back in the day. That's the way it was. I got the Sunday paper. Let me look at it. No. I'll give it to you after I'm done. After you're done, if it took a day or two, you ready to give it away. You walk across the thing, don't you want the paper? Because it's a piece of junk now. So after they extract everything they can extract out of you as far as your information and bring it to the pastor, then it's on and popping. And this is how they work. They tag team to get to you. If you make money, if you're single and make money and you're a woman, oh my God, you got to be part of the pastor's flock. His car going to be parked out there at 2 o'clock in the morning and ain't nobody going to tell. And the sneaking deacons and all of his crew work with him, even when they got the first lady right there. Because a lot of times, I'm not saying every first lady, but I'm going to tell you something that seems controversial. But a lot of the times, these Jezebel first ladies, not all, please don't think I'm talking about all of them, but watch this part. A lot of them Jezebel first ladies are straight up lesbians. So when the pastor brings home some goodies, she's licking on the same thing that he's licking on. All right? And I know some names, and I did an interview. Y'all gonna have to dig for it. A name you all know. They were into that. And one of the women that were with them, now maybe she's lying. I don't know, but I let her talk. That was her experience, she claimed, and I gave her a platform. It made you think. You know what I mean? Dollars and cents makes you think. All right? I gave you a hint. And they all stick together. Notice these pastors don't straighten each other out. They know what they're doing. They know how much money they're getting. But like I said about Eddie Long, I don't think I finished it. But with Eddie Long being politically connected with law enforcement, politics, affluent people, those worlds meet. And if Eddie Long didn't give that, what was it, 25 million? I'm gonna give to the people 25 million for something I didn't do. That's an admission of guilt. If there's a chick that comes around and knocks the door, Mrs. Scurv, your husband got me pregnant and he doesn't want to take care of me, and I go pay for an abortion, that means I did it. I'm not doing it because I'm not paying for no abortion because I didn't do it. And I don't believe in abortions anyway. You understand what I'm saying? I'm not doing it. Go on and have the baby and take the DNA, the paternity test there. And let's see. LANCESCURV, you are not the father. I knew it all along. I'm not paying for that. But they had to pay out because I feel that Eddie Long was so connected to different networks. Birds of a feather flock together. This was some pre-Pizzagate type stuff, but with young boys. That if they did a federal investigation into his affairs with his cell phone calls, other people who are down with certain things, and maybe they didn't use code language. There would have been politicians. There would have been people high up in law enforcement. There would have been people all over. There would have been a network. For that man to be up there preaching so strong about certain things and preaching against homosexuality, and that's what you're doing exclusively, it wasn't no combo pack. Oh, he messed around with a couple boys and he messed around with a couple girls. It wasn't no combination. You know what I mean? Like when you go to the restaurant for the first time and it's like, especially them Chinese joints, we have this, we have that. I don't know what I want to get. Oh, we have combo pack. And with combo pack, you have a little bit of everything. You have duck sauce, soy sauce, mustard sauce. You have dog, you have chicken, you have fish. Then now, you little dumb nigga, you know what it is that you want. No, specialize. And I'm gonna tell you something too. I'm an OG out here on the internet. Next month makes 22 years. And a year after YouTube was even made in 2005 was 2006, gay dudes, because I got my gay informants too. So be careful. I ain't that, but I got some people who roll with me, even though I talk and say I don't agree with it. They still love my spirit. Well, Lance, we it kind of hurts us that you don't accept us more, but we got a bit of information for you. And have you ever heard about Bishop Eddie Long? This is in 2006. Like, who the hell is this Eddie Long dude? It's like when you watch a porn movie and at the end they got the fake names and you laughing. Johnny Sweet Cum. You know what I mean? Eddie Long. And you know what the long means, right? It sounds like a porno character, right? Then you see another porno movie with the same guy and he got a different name. You know? That's the way it is. But yeah, he had to be the front man because he got busted. So he had to be the man to pay up, end things quickly so this doesn't get out. Because there was a whole lot of people shaking in their boots when that happened. That's just my take on it. Because when you're so high profile, somebody has to know what it is that you're doing. Somebody has to know. And like I said, I'm getting ready to sign off. I am so sorry I didn't acknowledge the chat room. Not that I wasn't, but I was just running my mouth. Let me just see. Should I even try? There's so many names here. You know I love you all. Will you be mad at me if I don't? My voice is a little sore right now, but I try to mix a little humor with facts. Look. This is getting on the church's ass week for some reason, right? We did it yesterday in a different way. We're doing it today. We're gonna continue this bad boy tomorrow, and we're gonna have a heck of a Friday with the show we do because I'm gonna go even more hardcore. And if anybody wants to call in on that show, whichever way you're connected to me, there's no more wires and no more whatever. Whichever way you can ring my phone, if it's through Instagram, if it's through Facebook Messenger, if it's through WhatsApp, if it's direct, if you want to call direct, whatever. And really and truly, if there's anybody who wants to maybe add on something to this right now and you want to call, let me know and just call. Let me put the number across. Let's see if you want to call in and add on to this because this is kind of like a little masterpiece. It was really like a stand-up comedy, if you ask me. Let me flash the number across the bottom. If you want to call in, you know, because I got my Bluetooth hookup, I don't have to use these wires anymore. So it opens up the possibilities for better shows. Okay, here's a number flashing on the bottom. You can call me through any social media platform. You can dial 407-590-0755. I'll make graphics with the numbers on it from now on. But you can call me as long as my phone rings. I can pipe you in if there's anything that you want to say. Tomorrow, if you want to do the same thing and call and you know, I'm shy, I don't want to say anything. You caught me by surprise. Well, then we can do that tomorrow. And if you have anybody out there, if you're listening, if you don't really want to call in, but you want to call, or you know somebody wants to call in and share a story, I don't care if you drop names because it ain't me. You know what I mean? They ain't coming after me. They won't be able to come after you either because they don't know who you are. You can call in and we can talk and we can roll as long as you want because tomorrow, thank God it's Friday, right? You know, Negro, you ain't working no more. You out there in the crowd chilling, man. Every day's Friday for me. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. I worked hard and been through a whole lot. And that's why I got a lot of stories to tell you. I'm gonna let it all hang out. Like Pastor Miles Monroe, a man who I respect so much, and he was a pastor. Man, that was a heck of a guy. I studied on him or whatever, and got a chance not to meet him where I shook his hand. But me and Mr. SCURV were in a little church situation, and he was about 3 or 4 rows up, and I felt that man's spirit. That man's spirit was so pristine and so genuine. He was all about it. He talked about things that many people didn't want to talk about. He didn't do it in a graphic way like I do, but he did it in a very intelligent way to really heal and relieve people of the trauma they've been through in the church and in life. When I found out he was in that plane crash, man, I cried. I cried so hard, you know? So anybody want to call in? You got 1 minute to do so. Ring the phone, 407-590-0755. And if you call, don't be talking about, so what you think about Queen Elizabeth passing away, whatever. And I got a bone to pick with somebody who's always on the show. And I don't care if you don't like it or not. You've been coming on the show for a good long while, but you know, you made a comment the other day about, oh, who gives a shit about Madonna? Listen, if I do something and I feature somebody who is of a different race, because I go in with surgical precision on any topic I talk about, I am pro-black. I'm pro-black in a mixed world. And there was a reason why I spoke about her, not to glorify her, not to glorify no white women. I know we got situations going on in Africa, but I cannot talk about the same thing all day. You got to mix it up. And it's about our human nature as Black people. But I saw a lesson that I could extract out of that particular video where her in her 60s, she can go back 40 years in her career with her music of things she created. She had that stick-it-to-itiveness. Yes, I know, I heard, I'm from Queens too, where she's from. She was a groupie. You know what groupies do. But the thing that she can take a body of work over the last 40 years and we give up and not create that body of work or whatever it may be. I might be a good mechanic and have a body of work of satisfied customers. But at least she's stuck to it. She's making money, yes. When I look back at our lives, we all should have something that we created, a legacy that we created. And it was in passing. It wasn't a 2-hour video. I wasn't glorifying the kinkiness that she was doing. I just said, hey, listen, when we get to a certain age, we should have something that we can look back on. And I'm very happy that as I approach my 60th birthday in April, I have 22 years of something that I've been working on in LANCESCURV.com, even before the name LANCESCURV.com came to be in April of 2010. All my work from the years before is on there. It's so deep that you can't dig deep enough. You're dealing with the surface stuff. You're not even going in the archives. And it's not even about the videos. The videos came after. I'm not a video guy. I just happen to run my mouth and people like it. I'm an artist. I'm a writer. I blog. I like doing it. I remember those days. I'd lock up in the room and just have my little lemonade, a little plate of food and just zone out. That was my way of getting high. That was my escape. And it's something I can't let go. Like I said, when I'm buried on my tombstone, shouldn't have my name. It should just say LANCESCURV.com. Promoting the website on your tombstone. Just make sure to keep the site going. Then I'm gonna say, listen, if I'm dead, give some donations to keep the site going. I'm not gonna ask for it now. I'm not gonna refuse it now either. I'm working on a new Cash App, y'all. I'll have it in a couple days. I'm working on a new Cash App. And I'm not one of them dudes that hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App, hit the Cash App. No, I'm not going to do that. But many have sent it and it didn't come to me. I'll make an official Cash App. There's social media platforms that are made that have nothing to do with me. My logo's there. My a variation of my name is there, but you do not see me there making announcements. I don't know what that's all about, but we'll clarify that in the next few days because I'm going to come out with my own. It's crazy. You know, there's some videos that are out there that they lifted and they use, and they use it in the educational way. I have no problem. But you have some people that hijack your videos and use it and try to get paid off of it and erase your logo and all that stuff. And you're the one that shot it. And they want to erase your logo and act like, no, put the work in. That's one thing, whether you love me or hate me, I put the work in. How dare you? When you know and the world knows it's me behind the camera that shot your ass, you're going to erase the logo off and act like it's your production. Once, twice, you let it slide, but come on, man. I'll never say I made a person. No, because it's an open platform. You made you. Your parents made you. Your experiences made you. You are the sum total of your whole experiences in life. That's what made you think like you do and act like you do, whether it's a good thing or not. But don't hijack nobody's work. And I had that happen to me years ago. I had somebody hijack all my artwork, erase my signature and logo, and put theirs on it. And the more and more I got more popular in the underground, because I'm an underground guy. I really prefer to operate in the underground on the internet. I'm not trying to be this flashy guy and I have to be seen all the time. It just works out that way that I create a lot of content on YouTube. But I'm not going to just go back to the underground, but I'm going to feed into the underground more. Like we spoke about that rock in the rock garden, and you lifted up that rock and you saw all these insects. I want you to go and discover different manifestations of what I put out there and see all of this stuff. And it ain't mainstream. I never wanted to be mainstream. I'm not trying to be mainstream. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm a craftsman. I love to operate in triple darkness and create things that are legendary, that make you say, damn, he put some time on this. Real talent, real experiences. I'm not trying to be some Jack Lake news reporter. I am me. We're vibing on that level. And I can't wait to cultivate the underground more. I'm not going to stop doing what I'm doing on this level. But I want to build where the eyes don't see, where you keep digging. You know, when you go somewhere to a restaurant, it don't look all that good. It got a jacked up sign, little hole in the wall place. But you've been driving for hours down the interstate and it's late and it's the only place that you can catch open. And you go in there and you say, okay, they don't have a big menu, but I'll take the chicken so-and-so and so-and-so and so. And there's a dude back there that you can see as a chef. He's an older dude, got about 2 teeth in his head and they don't line up. You wonder why he got them 2 teeth in his head, because he can't chew nothing. And he's back there playing some old 1940s music. And you sit down for a while and you don't have to wait too long. All of a sudden, this chicken dish is sitting in front of you. They bring you this big mug that you didn't order. Oh, we didn't order that. No, it's on us, man. We want. And you eat that food. For those who eat chicken, I'm just using chicken as an it could be vegetables, whatever. It could be pork. I don't know. I ain't touching that. But you eat that food and you can't believe how good it tastes. And you're like, listen, I got to know where this place is. Where are we? You just pulled off on the exit. You don't even know what exit it is. What town is this? And you find yourself making a 100-mile trek to get back to that place every week to eat that food. The sign is all jacked up. You might have seen a roach crawling across the floor. The food was so good you didn't even give a damn. That's the way it is. And that's the way we should be as people. Stop working on the superficial. Stop working on the outside to look good, and they take a bite into you. And it's like that supermarket, that flashy supermarket apple that was so polished. You say, ooh, that looked good. And you take a bite and it's powdery, not sweet. It's like a embalmed apple. It's dead. It has no nutrition in it. And you thought because of the outside that it was all good. Fellas, you see these women who look so good and they weaponize their bodies. Some of them. Not every woman who's in the gym is weaponizing her body. They're doing it for the health and the shape and stuff, and for their man and for themselves. But we have some that are out there who are weaponizing their body to look so good. They talk so intelligent. And when they get in your life, it's a pure hell. Ladies, there are brothers out there that are sharks. They ain't looking to commit to you. They ain't gonna marry you. But they look so good. They talk so good. The teeth so pretty. Car so pretty. Got a nice place. And you go up in there and you drop your standard, your moral standard. It's not 6 weeks, but not even 6 days, but 6 hours. You already been hanging out for 5.5 hours. You done made up your mind. You're going to do what you got to do to catch this man. And weeks later, you're crying because you realize that he used you. I'm not always trying to paint a picture of doom and gloom. I'm just trying to say, utilize your gift of discernment, because we all have it. If it's not working, unclog it, change the filter. Don't get so caught up in the worldliness, and stay to yourself for a day or two and meditate. Have your own thoughts. Do some music therapy. If you feel down, music is stimulants. I won't say drugs. You feel down, you play the right songs from your past when you were happy, it'll pick you up. If you're too hyper, you play something soothing and calming and relaxing. It will make you rest. If you're feeling sad sometimes, you can play something sentimental that makes you feel good. What was the name of the song? It was by the Memphis Horns. I can't play it for you here because YouTube always wants to knock you down for copyright and whatever. I'm not trying to steal nobody's content. The Memphis Horns, Just for Your Love. That's the name of the song. Google it. Somebody please put it in the chat room. Just for Your Love, Memphis Horns. Man, I played that song for about 3.5 hours back to back. I kept clicking YouTube. I clicked it so much, YouTube didn't want to play it no more. I had to refresh the page. Just for Your Love, doom, 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 doom. And they got the horns in the background. At the end, doom, 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 doom. Oh man, I'm gonna play it after the show is over. If you're constipated, you'll go to the bathroom. That's how smooth that song is. And it did it for me. You've got to know yourself, how to bring yourself back to a certain state of mind that you need to be back in after you've become frazzled and dealing with the outside world and the spirits that are out there that are looking to knock you off your groove, knock you out your zone. You have to know yourself to be able to do that. And again, I want to outwear my welcome. Tomorrow, we will continue this same exact conversation, and it will be under a different title. Might as well. Tomorrow's Friday, and maybe I'll be a little more comical. And please share this if you want to entertain somebody, or what do you think about what he said type thing. I'm good if it doesn't get 1 million hits. I'm not saying to do that for that, but we put down a nice little monologue today, and I'm going to look over the chat room when everything is finished. But I had to dig deep, and I couldn't focus. You know, I want to say hi to everybody, but I got to get deep. Look, you go to a boxing match, right? And your aunt of one of the boxers or uncle or somebody you haven't seen them in like 3 or 4 years, they boxing. Somebody's trying to take their head off. You can't get mad when you at ringside screaming and they don't hear you because they're so focused on what they're doing. So I'm here, but we had so many comments and so many. I know my family. I thank you for coming here. And if you're new, make sure to subscribe. And again, we did the app over. Download the LANCESCURV app. And that number you should have in your phone, and that email address you should have in your phone, because it depends on you for stories and forwarded emails. But send it to me on LANCESCURV or lance@lancescurv.com. There's a gazillion social media platforms I have, and certain people that I operate with, there's certain ones I know to look for them on, like, you know, Sister Oyala. It's Telegram, you know. Other brothers and sisters, maybe Facebook Messenger. I know who to look for. But for those, you know, to really get me, it's right there, lance@lancescurv.com. You can't go wrong with that. Lance@lancescurv.com. Can't go wrong. And that's my direct number. And if you want to call through any other, you know, while we're doing the show, we can do that. You know what I mean? So I have everything set up just nicely. And again, this weekend, I'm going to be setting up my adult stuff, which is going to be very graphic, but very entertaining. And it's going to take you into dark worlds that maybe you never had a chance. Me growing up in New York City and exploring adult things and experiences and sexuality and getting detailed, not to be nasty, not to be graphic, but I'm going to take you there. You see, we have a problem in the world, and especially in America. You know, we have all this sex advertising. You know, somebody selling toilet paper, somebody sitting there with big titties, some dude selling jeans, they got big bulge, and all this stuff. It's just too much. But for those who have gone and experienced certain worlds, I'm going to make you see it. I'm not going to hold back. I'm going to make you see it, smell it, taste it, look at it, whatever. But be prepared to laugh and be prepared to really see the irony of human nature. And there's no holding back. I've experienced clubs, parties, people, craziness, stuff that'll blow your mind. And I'm going to tell it all. And it will be on a Patreon. It may be on this one. I don't want to insult anybody who's already there, but maybe I will put it there. And if you're insulted by the content, then okay, then stop the support. I am going to make it. I'm going to tell you the price. It's going to be $10 a month. You're going to get at least 2 1-hour uploads, and it may go longer, it may go to 2 hours, because I'm going to go deep. I don't want to do too much and dilute myself out. I want to stay true to the topic that I'm talking about. Whether it might be being with somebody and you did threesomes for 8 years, or, you know, the sexual addictions and the people that you run into having these clubs. I used to have a thing where I did parties. I can tell you so much about sexual human nature. It's going to be interesting. It's not just going to be, you know, he put this in here and he did this and she sucked on. No. I'm going to have to say those things, but we're going to go deep in human nature. So you know what? Let me just go ahead and put it on the regular Patreon, and I'm going to set it up where there's a level for that. General support, fine. I don't ask, it's there. But for that particular one, it will be a price, and you will get the goods. Because I must admit, on the original Patreon, I didn't have levels. I just said, hey, give me $1 to support in general. And I'll put up some of the stuff that I put up just for support. This time, it's going to be an aim for it, and it'll still be the open Patreon. You can still do what you do. But for that slice of it, that will be a tier. And there will be extra stuff. And if I can get people to interview from my past and we talk and we share some things, it's going to be juicy, but you'll at least get that plus the extra stuff, recorded and eventually live, but a lot of recorded stuff. And on Patreon, we can vibe, ask me questions, say certain things, or if you want to hit me directly and don't want to reveal who you are, hit me up on lance@lancescurv.com. If you have an experience you want me to talk about and you don't want to come on, or you want to come on, we record it and talk about it, it's that kind of thing, but it will be underground and it will be very much adult. And if you have a weak heart, please don't come there, because it's gonna be something. I'm telling you. All right. So anyway, I stayed a little longer, make these announcements, talk a little bit more. Boom, been here for 2 hours. I talk too much. I need to get that microphone going when I'm sleeping and talking to my sleep. And when I'm talking to my sleep, boy, I don't know what Mrs. Scurv is hearing, but she's still with me. So I ain't saying nothing incriminating or nothing too nasty. But I love you all. Take care. Thank you so much for being here with me. And we'll be back tomorrow, 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So no matter where you are in the world, it'll be 10 a.m. U.S. Eastern Standard Time. And if there's any change in anything, go to YouTube in the community section, and I'll make an announcement if I have to push it back or if I have to delay it. But Creator willing, great health and no emergencies, we'll be right back here. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you. Much love, much appreciation. Thanks for your support. And we'll be here tomorrow to vibe. Peace.
John Hawkins showed up in our country, telling us of a land filled with luxury. He said, black man, follow me to America. There you'll find more gold for your labor. Our foreparents were tricked onto his boat. Since that time we've been wrestling with the gold. We landed here in Jamestown, Virginia, 400 years to suffer. So my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is black man hell. When the slave master wanted to have some sport, he would heap on our parents' cruelties of the worst sort, burn them at stake, hang them on trees. His ears were deaf to our parents' pleas. Though you were pregnant, black woman, you pull the plow like a horse, like a dog, even a cow. He filled your womb with his wicked seed. His half-white children you were made to breed. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell, white man heaven is a black man hell. So so-called Negro, open up your eyes. Black man everywhere is on the rise. He has kicked the white man out of Asia, and he's going fast out of Africa with every ounce of strength and breath. His cry is, give us liberty or give us death. The whole black world has their eyes on you to see what the so-called Negro is going to do. So my friend, it's easy to tell, our unity will give the white man hell. God made a promise to Abraham, his seed would be a stranger in a foreign land. They would suffer and be afflicted 400 years, but he would come, wipe away their tears. Our God and Savior, Allah has come. He has declared the white man's day is done. He has given us a divine messenger, one prophesied to come. His name is Elijah. We now can stand up the whole world to tell. Our God has come to give us heaven and take the devil into hell. Why are we called Negroes? Why are we deaf, dumb, and blind? Why is everybody making progress, yet we seem to be lagging so far behind? Why are we mistreated? Why are we in this condition, stripped of our names, our language, our culture, our God, and our religion? Here in America, all of our religious training has been gotten by the preacher. He has told us of a heaven way up in the sky that we can't enjoy now, but rather after we die. But all of the years that we're living, for us there's nothing but hell, pain, torture, and misgiving. Yet the Bible speaks of a heaven filled with material luxury, which the white man and the preacher has right here, so we see. So my friend, take it for what it's worth. Your heaven and your hell is right here on this earth. So let's check back into history, which rewards all research and tells us plainly. Before the white man gained entry to the East, he was living in the caves of Europe, a ravenous beast, eating juniper roots and eating flesh raw, till God sent Moses to civilize him and teach him the law. Then, following Marco Polo, an explorer, he gained entry into Asia and Africa. From China he took silk and gunpowder. From India he took jute, manganese, and rubber. He raped Africa of her diamonds and her gold. From the Mideast he took barrels of oil untold. Raping, robbing, and murdering everything in his path. The whole black world has tasted of the white man's wrath. So my friend, it's not hard to tell. A white man's heaven is a black man's hell. to America, we were living in the East. By the Nile River, we were living in luxury, enjoying freedom, justice, and equality. We wore silken robes and slippers of gold. We were the wealthiest and the wisest people, I'm told. Now we are the poorest of the poor. Nobody wants us at their door. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. When the white man came to America, he told the Indian, I am your white brother. He said, red man, I'll treat you the best. Yet and still he pushed the Indian further west with his white woman and fire water. With tricks and lies he stole America. The original owner of this nation is cooped up on a reservation. So, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell. He needed someone to work the land. His back was too weak. He needed you, black man, so he commissioned Sir John Hawkins to commit the world's most grievous sin, to take a man who's born to be free and bring him down to slavery, to sell a man as merchandise. On his body put a price. Oh, my friend, it's easy to tell. White man heaven is black man hell.
Bye. And let me know if you can hear this next song. That lets me know I have everything hooked up correctly. I had some problems a while back doing it this way. So let me know if you hear this music in the chat room. And if not, I'll play a few more other songs another way. But this can let me let it roll longer. So let me know if you can hear this. Let me cut it over here. Who heard it and who didn't? Who heard it and who didn't? Okay. I think the majority didn't hear it, so I'm not going to let it, just roll like that. I'm going to end it right now, and I'll try to fix that problem because sometimes we had some really, really good shows. You just couldn't end it like that. You wanted to hear some music and stuff like that and vibe in the chat room. So I'll try to work on that so the after show chat room experience can be good. But if you wanted to continue chatting, you can go to the site. You can go to LANCESCURV.com to the chat. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drop that. I always have it there. You can feel free to go there anytime, 24/7. They have private rooms in there when you want to talk. So I'm gonna just have to keep on advertising. The usual music you heard, yeah, because I had it piped in a different way directly in the program. So for those who are interested, you can go here on this page on LANCESCURV.com, or you can go there if you have the app. There's a chat prompt that's there. It'll take you there, and that's 24 hours. But if you go there and you say something and nobody answers it, of course, somebody else has to be there. But it's perfect. Let me tell you something. It's funny, right? It's perfect for somebody who you may meet in the street and you don't trust them. You say, meet me in the chat. Go to this particular chat, LANCESCURV.com/chat. You can chat all you want. You can go to a private room and chat, and it's safe. So nobody has to give up no phone number. Nobody has to give up any social media, but they can stalk you. You know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna let me see what my brother said. Okay. Yeah, might be time to go. So yeah, I'm gonna end it right now, but I work on those little amenities and stuff like that and bring things back the way and bring some real good fiery shows. Remember, Master Glam, if you want to come on in and drop that Pastor T, feel free. I'm gonna rant a little bit when you're ready to come on in. Just call whatever social media we're connected to at a direct number, and we'll make it happen. So let me sign out, and we'll talk tomorrow. And I'll be working on some stuff later on today. So it's always going to be something being thrown out. Much love.